To the DA of Talladega County, may I present Exhibit A. This video is proof of me doing this, but I plead not guilty to reason of insanity. Because of him, I ain't dealing with the full deck and the jokers are wild. And I'm hearing voices in my mind to tell me to do this. And plus, I know in my heart that this is the best solution to get noticed. But, if you ever want to get noticed by a group of people, you got to do something big. Well, let me give you a prime example of what I'm talking about. It was me, Chrissy, and Jitterbug in a back seat, but I'm not going to call no names and say who did it. My mama and Miss Peggy was up front. We was riding around looking at Christmas lights. Well, Miss Peggy had to crack the window down because she was gasping for air. Do you know why she was gasping for air? Because somebody in the back seat let one rip, and it wasn't no little poop, buddy. It was something big that she noticed. But one of the group of people I want to be noticed by is the Talladega County Sheriff Department. You know what? I had a thought versus talking maybe one or two. Only one or two hearing about me. Now, since I committed a crime, I know the detectives are looking at me, and probably damn near every deputy at Talladega County. Probably Chillsburg and Sylacauga too. Because, you know, I feel like I'm OT because I'm tripping y'all out. Yeah, before I say what they didn't do, let me say this. Please do not judge these people as bad, folks, okay? Because, you know, I know a lot of them from being an outlaw, and you couldn't ask for better cops that go around treating folks with respect. And they gonna fix this problem because they care. I'm gonna say this 2 more times so it'll register in everybody's mind, especially you, Bobby Green. They care. They care. But the problem is, and I'm gonna say this word loosely, we had a registered sex offender that lived in Bobby Green's one of his rental trailers for 6 months. We was never received a notification from the Talladega County Sheriff Department notifying us about it, and I believe Bobby could have known something about it. Now, I believe in my heart Sheriff Kilgore and his team is going to fix this because they care. If this guy is listening to me, look, dude, I'm not up here trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, okay? I don't know nothing about you. I will say this in your behalf. They ought to change this law to where these folks like this, if they, like my cousin, let me use my cousin David Butler for an example. He was 18, that girl was 15. Now he has to register as a sex offender for the rest of his natural life, and that's not fair because my cousin David is no baby rapist or nothing like that. He wasn't nothing but a kid himself. This is a dumbass law that we got that we need to change. Yeah, I hate to use you as an example, but what if it would have been an older guy or something like that loved little young girls? This gives me a chance to explain my first video. One reason why it didn't, you know, it didn't go right. But one of the main reasons is that I showed a picture of Chrissy and Jitterbug, 2 little girls that go over to their Aunt Jackie's, which is my mama, where that trailer park's right beside my mom, and go there and visit, play out in the yard. But see, I showed, like I said, I showed a picture of it. Well, Tanya wanted me to take it off because some pervert might have been looking at it. But I got a cool way to protect a child in Talladega County, maybe. Chrissy and Jitterbug ain't the only 2 girls or kids that's real close to me. I got quite a few cousins out there. Y'all don't know what they look like. They could be my step cousins. They could be Mexican. They could be white. They could be black. But warning, sex offenders, they live in Talladega County. And I swear before my Jehovah God, and the person that is going to sell me this is watching this YouTube video. I'm going to buy some Xanaxes, and I'm going to slip you a Mickey. When you wake up, you gonna be a steer. Then I'm gonna notify the police that I did it, and when I go to courtroom, I'm gonna be wearing them as a necklace, and I hope somebody asks me, dang, what kind of weird necklace is that? I'm gonna smile, and I'm gonna say, that's Exhibit A, ha ha. Yeah, I'm not passing judgment on the person that this guy was going over there to visit, but the only reason let me put it like this. If you didn't live there, that guy wouldn't never been beside my mom. But, you know, no offense, I love you. I'm not going to call your name out. But there was this guy that was going over there visiting, and you could see this guy on a 42 News link. His name is Terry Crumpton. He is like a 60-year-old man that loves to look at young girls that got busted. See, I didn't call out that person that lived there because I don't really know the situation. I know he was young, but I don't mind calling that son of a bitch out because one reason I hate that bastard, and a lot of folks in Talladega County hate him. But that ain't the only problem that we've had. We've had a problem out of a guy named Robert Limbaugh that likes to get drunk and pull knives out and baseball bats on folks, you know, and ask him to quit running a smart ass mouth or something. You know, he breaks bad with weapons that could have lost his damn life one day because he threatened to kill my uncle over a damn chicken. But what it was, there was this chicken that was coming over there, steadily coming over there in the yard. And remember, we have little kids that like to play in the yard, and a chicken could easily fly up and flog them in the eye and make them go blind or something. But anyway, it was over there, and it kept on harassing my mom and me. Well, I don't like Robert, so therefore I didn't talk to him. So my mama asked my Uncle Larry to go there. But, well, anyway, my Uncle Larry went over there and asked him, said, would you keep your chicken up? He said, if it keeps on harassing it, especially if it jumps on one of these kids, he says, I'm going to have to, you know, put it down. Well, Robert Limbaugh looked at him in a smart-ass tone. That killing goes both ways. Now I'm comparing you with the Talladega County Sheriff Department, Bobby. Do you know why they're going to jump on this? Because it's a problem. They care. You know it's a problem, but you're not doing nothing about it because you don't care but about one thing, money. That's when I say, dude, either you're a complete dumbass or you're satanic. Yeah, there's been a lot of times Bobby had put me down, called me trash and all that because of my wild lifestyle. But do you know what, cuz? Sometimes it takes a person like you to make a piece of crap like me smell like a rose, you know. Think about this, you know, you're creating sins in folks' life, man. My life, cause, you know, hatred towards you. And a lot of folks in the family and the neighborhood the way you're doing. Yeah. Speaking of hatred, that's why I'm making this thing so long, because I know Bobby don't like me. And one of the reasons is because I don't put up with this crap. When he runs that smart ass mouth, I pop back at him, you know. But, you know, it don't bother me that he don't like me. Let me put it like this. I ain't got to take a Xanax tonight to go to sleep because you don't like me, little buddy. It's mutual. I hate you. Another reason is I'm making it so long is to give a verbal bullying, and you know, you're not the only one, Bobby, there's a couple of them, to give y'all a taste of your own medicine. Another reason is for my YouTube fans out there that like my first video, but oh my god, people, let me tell you why it was so screwed up. Okay. Alright. One of the problems that I had was, you know, I'm ready to go on YouTube, so I'm trying to find somebody to do this. I had an idea of calling the teacher down here at the community college in Chillsburg, and I said, do you know a student that could put this on YouTube that would be willing to make some money? he sent me this guy named Cody. His last name starts with an E, I forget, but he did drive a white Explorer with a broken mirror. I paid him up front. He seemed like an honest guy. Told me that he was in the youth ministry and all that, so I went ahead and paid him up front. Well, he dipped with my money and ran. Then when I found somebody honest, I had to take it off because Chrissy and Jitterbug's picture was in there. Okay, then when I reshot it, I was in such of a hurry to put it on there that there was clips that shouldn't have been in there. And plus, you know, it was obvious, dude, I was amped up on lower tabs. I know what you're saying, Bobby. Oh, you're just a drug addict, but I'm about to explain to you why I was taking them every day. Well, you see, folks, in 1993, me and a running buddy of mine had a car wreck that totaled out my car, Donald Sherlin. And I bet you everybody remembers Donald from being one of the best baseball pitchers from Chilesburg High School. I mean, I played catch with him one time. He threw that ball to me one time. I said, don't throw it to me no more, man. He burned my hand. But I can remember as a kid, you know, we used to play baseball at my grandparents' house over there in Minor Terrace, and he was knocking that ball over there, over them government houses over there in DeSoto Court, and I was like, wow, check out the powerhouse hitter. But anyway, we had a car wreck. Well, you know, it shattered my hip bone, ribs on both sides, my collarbone. And, you know, I like to take time, you know, to tell some folks, Chilesburg, that donated me some money, man. I really appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. I love y'all. But anyway, one of the things I was doing for entertainment, because I was stuck at the house because I didn't have a vehicle, I was working out with weights. Well, anyway, a couple years on down the road, I quit working out. And then I started doing metal roof. Well, anyway, I slid off the metal roof. And if you've seen a YouTube video, Joe's in the police, Bobby said, oh, he was high today, he fell off roof. No, it wasn't nothing to do with drugs, cuz, but I'm about to explain to your dumbass what happened. What happened is, if anybody knows anything about a harness and a safety rope, they know that, you know, it can trip your ass. And if anybody knows anything about standing seam panels, they're real easy to bend, right? Well, anyway, we're moving these panels up and over the roof. Well, that rope, you know, would trip you. I did not want to fall, maybe, then the metal. And plus, it was a lot easier, you know, to function without it on. But, you know, it was drizzling rain. I should have had my ass kicked for doing this without a safety gear. But anyway, I slid off the roof. It re-shattered my hip bone. Let's see, broke my elbow, I think. Yeah, elbow and my ribs and my wrist. But anyway, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say I have not did illegal drugs, because that's one of the reasons why my body got out of shape, because I was staying and then later on, you know, I ended up in prison, and the reason why I went to prison is because we was getting scrap metal. I said we, but I'm the only one that went down because I did not tell on the other folks. But what it was, there's this old place down here, Shellcast, and years ago they had a sign up, commercial property. Part of the building was pushed up with the bulldozer, right? If anybody knows anything about commercial property, 9 times out of 10, it goes to the landfill. Well, anyway, we was digging through that rubble, getting the scrap metal, and got some off the existing building. So, anyway, they called the police. I went to prison. Well, I was thinking while I was in prison, you know, I'd like to go back to 1993 because it was a calm period of my life. You know, I felt the greatest, I looked the greatest. Then I had some motivation. Because after I got out of prison, I bumped into this girl, you know, I noticed she really needed my help. I went over there to help her out because anybody that knows me, you know, knows I'm about trying to help somebody out. Well, I started getting fond of this girl, right? And I was trying to impress her. So what I was doing, you know, I started working out to get myself looking like I did in 1993. So anyway, it was painful for me to work out because I was working out weights and stuff here at the house. I'd have to eat a Lortab every day. But then, you know, after I got to know this girl, uh, there's this voice that went in my mind that said, because she made a comment one time that said it wouldn't never work out between us, and I thought about that, and I agree with her. It wouldn't have worked out. But anyway, there was this time that Bobby threatened to bust me in my mouth, and he called me a son bitch. So anyway, I was getting in shape to kick off in this boutique. So I had a bright idea to do this legal. I was trying to arrange a fight downtown at the 50-yard line at the John Cox Stadium in Chillisburg, Alabama. And I would like to apologize to the city of Chillisburg if I caused y'all any problems about that, but what it was, I had to talk to the mayor pro tem at the time because BJ, you know, he was battling cancer and he lost that battle. Now he's in heaven. My prayers are still with Miss Minks, Wendy, and Michelle. But anyway, I was talking to the mayor pro tem at the time, and he said one of the people I got to get it approved through is the Chillisburg Police Department. So I went down there and talked to Doug about it, and Doug was all for it. Well, also I had to get it approved through the Board of Education because I was wanting to have it at the football field at the high school. Well, they never did return my phone call. I guess they thought I was spun out like a Chem oil washer. So anyway, I was going around telling everybody I built the first time machine. I went back to 1993 to capture the love of my life. Found out she wasn't the love of my life, so I built the first time machine. Went back to 1993 to show you, Bobby, Troy Bearden, Robert Limbaugh, that smart-ass warden at the Chillisburg Honor Camp, Lieutenant White, and a couple other people in Chillisburg, Alabama, that y'all are not That's why I'm saying in this video, Bobby was trying to kill me, and he was trying to do it to where he would make himself look like he was doing it in a legal way, but y'all will find out real quick it would have been murder, okay? Because he drew first blood. And, you know, I'd like to thank, you know, God, you know, because I ain't got to depend on them Lortabs no more like I did, and, you know, I pray for the suffering addict that goes through pain that takes them every day, because, you know, it's like when I'm really hurting, you know, and when I was taking them every day, you know, my body done built up a tolerance against it, and it was like a milk bucket under a bull, you know. But, you know, thank God I don't abuse them no more. But, you know what, it blows my mind why I got over 1,000 views, and I forget how many thumbs up, people riding by and saying, hey, I liked your video. But, you know, I realized it was one of the most dumbest things I've ever done in my life. But for the ones of y'all that liked my first YouTube video called First Time Machine, Chillisburg, Alabama, y'all about to be rapping because
this the remix.
Now I'm sending a message out to the Talladega County Sheriff's Department, because you're going to have a job to do, little buddy. Because if he signs that warrant, I will be gonna make your job real easy, little buddy, because my number's gonna be at the end of my video, and all you gotta do is give me a call and tell me which direction you're coming from, and I'll walk this way. But check this out, people. This is my BB gun. Yeah, there's a funny story on how little Robert became a friend, and anybody that tries to help me out, I consider them to be a friend, because, that's what a friend should be about. But anyway, it was the year 2012, around November, yeah. Shortly after I got out of prison, I met this girl that lived across the street from me, Diana, and everybody knew I had the hots for her. But anyway, I noticed that lady, she was, sort of kind of needing my help. She was a single mom, and plus her landlord was going around giving people a note saying, if your yard's not cleaned up, we're going to charge you an extra $100. But anyway, you ought to see some of the junk that he's got scattered out over there. But anyway, like I said, I was going over there for, like a couple weeks, right? Now, I want everybody to know I kept my hands to myself, okay? I know what y'all thinking, but anyway, I was over there a couple weeks, right? And all of a sudden, she started dating this guy named Tom. Well, about 6 weeks later, I went over there, and her sister was staying with her. So I went over there, and I cooked. Well, I cooked it at the house. It was a steak dinner that I cooked, and I carried her and her sister and went over there. And I sat down and told her this story, what I was looking for in a woman and what I've been through. And I left her a little note saying, hey, buddy, I want to be with you forever, never, never. But anyway, the next day I went over there, and she said, Tom's on his way up here. I said, oh my God. So I went up to a friend of mine, Lightning, and I told Lightning what was going on. He said, man, don't worry about it. Just drink your beer. And I did, and I drank one more, and one more, and one more. And then, about 7 beers, I think it was about 7 beers I drank. Well, I was 3 sheets in the wind, and, I really feel like an idiot, for doing this, and this is a reason why you don't need to mix Xanaxes with alcohol. God, I was stupid. But anyway, I went home, I took the Xanax, and I was getting real mellowed, and it was like, Toto, I'm afraid we're not in Chillisburg anymore, little buddy. So anyway, I was going up there to my mom's house, see if she had any leftovers in her fridge, and she knew I was 3 sheets in the wind, and she started crawling my ass. So anyway, I grabbed a knife. I said, what do you want me to do? Just end your misery, Mom? So I stabbed myself in the arm. Then I ran outside, and it was at night. Car was coming. I lay down in the road. Well, they stopped. They called the police. And not 1, not 2, but 3 counties, and Chillisburg came up. And anyway, he came. When he pulls up, right when he gets out of the car, I said, man, please take me to jail. Get me away from this chaos. He said, are you on drugs? I said, hell yeah, buddy, you ain't did your job. Something slid by you. But anyway, I went to jail. And, I like to thank the Talladega County Sheriff Department. The way they handled me, the guns was never drew. They talked to me in respect. Now, remember, there was 3 deputies there, and I won't say who he was, but, I encourage other cops to be like this guy. It don't matter what it was, but I had something in my pocket. It was like sort of a common, ordinary drug that a lot of folks take, but it's illegal for me to have, and, a few other people. But anyway, I thought I had it in my pocket. It was just like a small amount personal use, right? I told one of them deputies, I said, hey, man, when he turns his head, I want you to take this, and will you throw this away for me? And you know what? That deputy was going to do that for me. Wow. Why can't all cops be like that when I'm trying to help somebody out? But anyway, I was noticing, all 3 of them was like real extreme gentlemen, you know what I mean, that handled me with respect. And they sort of kind of thought it was funny when I told them. I said, man, I appreciate the respect I'm receiving from y'all, and I want to thank y'all for not being like Jeff Mobs. Yeah, before I tell you that funny story about, when I went to court before little Robert, I need to tell y'all about the very first time, I got in trouble and I had to go before a judge. The year was '88, and me and old running buddy from Minor Terrace, Daryl Sherlin, we was riding around, and we, like I said, we were drinking, got drunk, ended up in this little hick town, Ashland, in Clay County, right? Well, anyway, got pulled over. He was taking us to jail. I was looking around, and I said, "Hey, man, what part of Sylacauga are we in?" He laughed, and he said, "Sylacauga, hell, you're in Ashland." But anyway, everybody that knows me knows that I walk around with a smile on my face a lot of times. But anyway, when I walked up to the judge, immediately he looked at me and said it in a smart-ass tone, but I forget the judge's name. I think it's Rochester, but if it's not Rochester, excuse me. But if you was a judge in Ashland in the year '88, put one finger in the air and start rapping, because you're the one, boy, I'm talking about. But immediately, like I said, I walked up to him with a smile on my face, and he was just teetotal ass, like, "You need to take your smile off your face right now, buddy. I can lock you up for 30 days in jail and all that." Which my stepdaddy, Leon Goodwin, talked to the cops and got the cop to talk to the judge, and they reduced it down to reckless driving. So, you're not a teetotal ass if you're listening. But anyway, when I was leaving, he made a smart-ass comment like, "Hey, if I see you within a year, I will make sure you do 30 days in the jail." I was like, "Excuse me, buddy." Or, another judge, oh my God, Larry Ward. Yeah, Judge Larry Ward from Chillsburg is about one of the most disrespectful human beings I've ever met in my life, the way he talks to people. It's like, one time I seen a little kid go before him, and he was just like pointing his finger, just like crawling his ass, talking about, "Hey boy, next time you come up here, you better bring you a bag. You gonna pick up trash," just in a real smart-ass tone. And he'll tell everybody, "If I see you with a cell phone or any kind of outburst, 24 hours in jail." But when he's clowning on these folks, it's sort of kind of funny, but I notice when they're laughing at him, he's not pointing, "Hey, you need, okay, 30 days right here," But I'm thinking, he might be getting a high off of it, because he thinks he's somebody. And you know what? In all reality, cuz you ain't nothing but a crooked individual that probably helped Robert Harris and Frankie Wallace rob the city of Chillsburg, smiled off, smart-ass, bald-headed runt, that if you had a black toupee on and a white tuxedo, you would look just like that midget off Fantasy Island. Oh, now, Mayor Payne, the next Coosa Fest we have, if we can arrange to where the Blue Angels fly over, yeah, we can hire Midget Man to announce the arrival of the Blue Angels. Yeah, it'd be simple for you, cuz. Right when they get at the edge of Chillsburg, just point in the sky and go, "The plane! The plane!" Now, think about all them folks that you disrespected. Think about what they're saying. I don't know what they're saying, but I guarantee it, cuz it goes something like this. Okay, it's time for me to go to court, go see my friend. Okay, I'm ready to, irregardless, look, dude, if you stick me with the fine, I'm gonna tell him, "Look, dude, I'm going to jail," you know what I mean? But I had plans on telling him the story, what I went through. But anyway, when he calls my name, Jeffrey Nix, I said, "The one and only." Well, I walked up there, and, again, I had a smile on my face. Well, he told me, he started laughing at me. He said, "Man, I've never seen nobody come up to me with a smile on their face like you did." And then I said, "You know what, buddy, you look just like your daddy." Then I called him Little Robert. And then he said, "Yeah, my brother said I was adopted." And I said, "Yeah, and I got some oceanfront property in Arizona, too." Well, anyway, he said, "Mr. Nix, how do you plead to charges of in public intoxication?" I said, "Not guilty, Your Honor, reason of insanity, because I was going to tell him the story, because, you know, like I said, I was out there, you know, and I wasn't dealing with the full deck, and the jokers were wild. Well, anyway, he looked at me and he says, I'll tell you what, he said, since you made me laugh, I'm going to cut you a break. I'm going to let you go. And I walked up to him, I shook his hand, I said, Judge, you're not a turd, you are the major doo-doo. But, you know what? For doing that, you know, and, you know, thank you for having a sense of humor about that, because, you know, I didn't say it in a disrespectful way, but, you know, I know a lot of smart-ass judges would have, but, you know, so, you know, a guy that gives respect deserves respect. You know what? From now on, it's Judge Rumsey, because, you know, you're a judge. I mean, you're what a judge should be. You know, like there's a couple more in Talladega County. Judge Sims, Judge Julian King, fine, outstanding, you know, people that go around trying to help folks out. Especially Julian King, man. You know, he's awesome. You know, and it's like, why can't more judges be like that? You know, when you got to talk to folks in a disrespectful way. And, you know, I noticed something. You know how people that go around trying to be somebody, a lot of times they're the biggest assholes. But people that walk around not trying to be somebody are a lot of times the greatest people you could ever meet. Does that make sense? I believe it does. Yeah, Troy Bearden and Bobby Green, they're two guys that, you know, go around and they go to church. They think they're better than, you know, other folks, and they want to make like they're all this, you know, but behind the Bible. But, you know, I'd like to tell y'all, man, y'all creating a sin in my life, man, a sin of hatred, you know, because, you know, the way y'all are doing people. It's like you, Troy, and if y'all ain't seen it, it's called a YouTube video called First Time Machine Raw Sewage, where he was steadily letting raw sewage going through the yard, and one of the people's yard that was going through was his sister-in-law. Man, don't you respect your family? Man, you know I do, because, you know, I really care about that lady. She's a sweet lady. You know, God blessed you with a sweet sister-in-law. And, you know, Bobby, the way he's doing my mom. And plus, you know, it's like, you know, I live here. They both live in a different county. So, you know, it's really not a hassle to them, you know, kind of people they put in these rental trailers they got. You know, it's like we had a killing over here. Bobby, we've had a child molester hanging out over there named Terry Crompton. Plus, I know for a fact there's one meth lab over there in your trailer park, Bobby, maybe two, and plus there's several of them been in your trailer park, Troy. One got busted over there, but, you know, you still let him stay there, you know. And I've seen people that would take a meth lab and flush it down a commode before to dispose of it. What if that person lived in that trailer park where that raw sewage was running through there? There'd also be a meth lab running through them people's yard. But, you know, it's a crime shame, you know, because as long as they got rent money and enough money for a deposit, they sound just like George Jones.
Step right up. Come on in. If you'd like to take the grand tour of the lonely house that once was home, sweet home.
Okay, here's that trailer park that Bobby put beside my mom. Look how close these trailers are apart. See that fence along through there? My mom had to put that up to keep Crystal from driving through there, because, I mean, she was never evicted. You know, probably because it wasn't Bobby's yard, and plus she paid her rent a day early. You know, she was a real loyal renter to him. But, okay, there's my mom's house, right? You see where that trailer is? When people get on that porch, that sound echoes over here, okay? Okay, that right there is just trash that they got out there, and right there. And this is on Bobby Green's back porch. Yeah, this is exactly the way it went down, but what it was, Bobby called me up and accused me of throwing a cat on one of the rental trailers, and I swear before my Jehovah God I did not do it. And well, he just said, well, you know what, if I ever hear about you did doing it, I said, Bobby, I'm telling you, I did not do it. He said, well, I know why you used to agitate your pawpaw. And my granddaddy's been dead for, I forget how many years, but anyway, I said, what are you talking about? He said, you know what I'm talking about. I said, could you not yell at me? He said, I'll bust you in your mouth, you son of a bitch. And then hung up. Well, I got drunk, and because it got me pissed off. Well, I got drunk, and again, this is exactly the way it went down. I called him up, and I said, hey, you son of a bitch, if you still want to bust me in my mouth, you know what to do.
Come off that song and just bust the move.
Yeah, I'm not the first one he's threatened, and plus I've heard him threaten, talking about, yeah, I'll pop a cap in his ass. But, one of the other things about him, he's told some lies. He told Gary Prince that his son was going to rent one of them trailers after he got out of the Army. He does not have a son in the Army. And plus he told Gary also, he said, I'm not going to let no niggers in there. And if anybody don't know what a nigger is in Alabama, a nigger is a second-class citizen. But probably about one of the biggest niggers he let live in there was a guy named Robert Limbaugh, a former Ku Klux Klan member that wants to go around calling folks niggers and nigger lovers because, my aunt was one of them folks you called a nigger lover because her and her old man chooses to have black friends over there. I mean, what makes you think that you're a better person than a black man that lives with morals and values? You know what I'm saying? Say that don't get drunk like you do, cuss at the kids and raise all kind of hell, and plus been to prison, and plus doing drugs. Yeah, think about that, Bobby. Maybe because he got behind on his lot rent is because maybe he called up the dope man and said, oh, now, Robert Limbaugh, think about that. Not only have I called you a nigger, I just called you a crackhead too, bitch, in front of God and everybody. I know what you're saying. I'm gonna whoop that son of a bitch's ass. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Miss Reba McEntire. Because my number's going to be at the end of my video, and all you got to do, homeboy, is give me a call and arrange a place for me and you to throw down. But if you see me riding my bike down the road or walking or even at a public spot, don't come up to me running your smart ass mouth, because I do not know what's up your sleeve. You might have a weapon on you. This is not a terrorist threat. This is a promise, cuz I know a move where I can hit somebody with a single blow and kill them. And if you come up to me like that, I'm going to try to kill your ass. Oh, now, Judge Rumsey, and if this does happen, my only plea is, Your Honor, I told that dumb-ass nigger, but he didn't listen. But if it does happen, cuz, and I do kill your ass, if you know my Savior, Jesus Christ, as your Savior, I will. Yeah, well, I think Bobby could be satanic is a friend of mine told me this, and he also told me never to tell anybody, and I never have. And, because he's ashamed of it, and I feel like that might be God working in his life, trying to, introduce him to his son, Jesus. But anyway, he told me that the first thing they teach you in a satanic cult is to please yourself before anybody else. Well, he had a relative that is one of his close relatives that was satanic, told me this out of his own mouth, that he was satanic. And another thing too, a while back, you know, I told him, I said, Bobby, I want you to come and listen to this testimony that I'm going to be giving. And he said it real, like in a smart-ass tone. I don't like to hear stuff like that, you know, about somebody getting strung out on drugs, you know, and all that, finding God. And I was thinking, wow, maybe because you don't like to listen to it, it's because, you know, it was God, you know. Yeah, you know, he does drugs too, because, you know, he takes Xanaxes and Lortabs. If you've seen a video of Josie and the Police, you know, he said that he did not have Lortabs, but would you be willing to sign over your medical records to prove a point, little buddy? Yeah, it trips me out because, see, when I called the police up to him, I told that cop, I said, yeah, I'm a drug addict, and he gave me a Lortab. But it blows my mind, man, because people watch that video and they have still sold me a Lortab, man. I appreciate the trust, man. I love y'all because they're thinking, man, that's my buddy. You know what? You're right. I will never forsaken you. But, you know, you know, I done about weaned myself off of them. You know, Jehovah God is showing me that I don't really need them. And plus, this gives me a chance to tell Sheriff Kilgore what a fine job you're doing with the Talladega County Drug Task Force. Yeah, cuz, thanks to your ass, they getting hard to find, little buddy. I want you everybody to pay attention to that date right there, okay? Thank you. Yeah, I done that. He Seventh-day Advanced. You know, he's probably getting out of church right now, or he could still be in church. Sometimes he goes to preaching. If anybody goes to listen to him preach, please turn around and walk away from him, because I feel like he's trying to lead you to hell with him. And, you know, there's another thing about him, too, what really ticked me off. A long time ago, he broke a promise to me, that me and him made a verbal agreement, to where I went up there and I built the deck for him. He said, how much do I owe you? You don't owe me nothing. I said, I'll tell you what, if you ever want to repay me, if I ever need any mechanic work, help me out. He said, okay. Well, what it was, I let a friend of mine borrow my truck, right? Well, he put the gas line was messed up. He had a bright idea of putting fish aquarium on there. Well, it leaked, hit the manifold, caught a fire. Well, you know what? He charged my mama $500 to fix my truck that he didn't finish because I had to get my Uncle B, my Uncle Bobby, my other Uncle Bobby, to fix it, you know. And this was shortly after you sold that trailer park for over $100,000. Why do you need that more money, you know? Because you're obsessed with it, you know. I mean, you say I'm crazy, but it goes back to, you know, you put your needs before anybody else. It's like my mama. You didn't care if it depreciated her house. Plus, Keith was wanting to buy that to put his stepdaughter over there. You bought it out from under his feet. And, you know, Crystal Patterson driving through my mom's yard. And then, you know, Robert Limbaugh. You know, see, what it was, the main issue about Robert Limbaugh is because, okay, he was always acting bad, and we had to call the police, or my mom had to call the police to him, right? Well, Bobby was carrying a note around saying that he was going to evict him. He needed somebody to sign it. Well, my neighbor signed it. That was a lie. He stayed there for four more months. Because what it was, he got behind on this lot rent, and he says, well, I'm waiting on this check, you know, disability check. When I get it, I will pay you all this back time. And Bobby said, okay. And, you know, he would have missed out on a couple of, you know, over $1,000. You know, we had to listen to that loud-mouthed drunk for 4 months, you know, talking F this, F that. And when I was driving down the road, you know, he was point fingers saying, yeah, I want to whoop his ass. Well, you know what, homeboy? You got your golden opportunity. Okay, that is the footprints right there. And my sweet dear Aunt K Nix gave that to me. Yeah, how I got it is she was having a yard sale at my mom's, and she was, you know, away from it. And I seen that, and I says, I want that. How much does she want for it? And Aunt Linda says, I don't know where she's at. Or you can just take it with you. I said, no, I'll pay her for it. So I walked up to her. I said, Aunt Kay, how much do you want for this? She said, oh, you can have it, you know. But anyway, a while back, you know, she had some stuff in the yard sale. Well, he went over there and got it, carried it over to my grandma's house and was showing it to her. And, well, my Aunt Kay pulls up. Well, he goes and hides it. Which, you know, I didn't know if my Aunt Kay knew about it, but she said she did, because I think my grandmother knocked his ass out. But, you know, you're saying that I'm going to hell for what I'm doing, but yet you're going to heaven, dude. Dude, you gotta be the biggest dumbass in the world to think that. Or it goes back to, you could be very intelligent and satanic, and you're trying to lead everybody to hell with you. Yeah, with hearing his close relatives saying that he was a devil worshiper, because I heard it come out of his own mouth with my own ears. And plus, you know, the way Bobby is acting, because, you know, he's putting his needs before anybody else's. He don't care what, you know, what a person has to go through, as long as he gets his money. But anyway, I want to show everybody a clip of one of my favorite movies. It's called Summer Snow, and I encourage everybody to go watch this movie. But I'm about to show y'all a clip of this movie of what a true Christian should be.
You see, there's a Hallie who only cares about herself. And that Hallie needs to die and let God change her into a new Hallie who loves God and other people.
Yeah, that's what a true Christian should do. I mean, that's what Jesus did when that day on Calvary, you know. He put everybody first, him second. But what pisses me off about the situation now, he's retired from the Army Depot. My aunt receives, you know, she worked there, you know. And plus he gets a check from the VA. They don't need that extra income. They got two places. I mean, they got money. They got a house in East Aboga, and then they bought a place over here on Fulton Gap Road. If you've seen a YouTube video, Jeffrey Nicks, I Was Bullied, that property that I'm showing y'all, that's their property. You know, they could probably give that away, you know, and not even miss it. And, you know, it's like I said, you know, they took cruises, they've been to Hawaii, they bought their grandson a Hummer, they was giving him an allowance of $100 a week. You know, they're not hurting for no money. But, you know, it goes back to the only thing they care about is making money. It don't matter what kind of hell my mama has to go through, as long as they get their money. You know, if this could get Jay and you in trouble, you know, I don't care, you know. But, one thing what it was, his son, my cousin hired his son to represent him in court. Well, Bobby went and filled out some paperwork that Jay was supposedly done. It got filled out wrong. Well, anyway, Jay told my Aunt B, and she's struggling for a little bit of money. Well, I got to have $1,000. I got to redo it because of Bobby's mistake. You know, and plus, you know, he made a comment, you know, a while back when I was still going over there, but, you know, folks started shying away from him. But, you know, it's like, oh, nobody don't really come around me no more. Wonder why? Because, you know, nobody don't really like you, man, because the way you go around doing people, plus the way you go around doing my mom, the way you done my Aunt Brenda. Think about it. Nobody didn't go there to fall off it. Well, one person from my aunt's side of the family went over there, Linda. But, you know, like Christmas, nobody don't go over there no more. Because, you know, nobody don't really like you. Yeah, I'm at the Center Hill Chevron, but one day I was walking down that sidewalk. He was over there pumping gas. Well, when he looked at me, I spit at him. Okay, then he gets in his truck, right, and parks right here. And I'm on the, up there's a road. I'm walking up that road behind it, and that trailer park right up there. Well, he stops right there, then he hollers at me, Breaking Bad. Yeah, one other time, I was riding down the road and he threw his hand out when I went past him, you know, and I slowed down. Well, he stopped. Well, I pulled my bike over my Uncle Larry's yard, you know, and was like, hey, come on. Well, he went on. But, the reason why I spit at him, you know, I was trying to promote a fight, see if he'd run his smart-ass mouth, or like he would come toward me, you know, Breaking Bad. But, you know, he didn't say nothing. But the reason why he waited till he got it in his truck, because he was near his pistol. and he has pulled his pistol out on folks before. And if he, does kill me, do not let him play that Vietnam stuff that he did not know what he's doing, because it goes back to the YouTube video, Josie and the police, because I stood out in front of him, in front of his vehicle, and I didn't let him get out until the cops got there. Well, he made a comment that he told the deputy, he said, I started to run over him, but I thought about it. But, if he does kill me, and if he does send me to paradise and does me the ultimate favor, like I said, don't send him to a psycho ward. When he gets through Kilby, put him in Easterland. Yeah, it's like now when I see Bobby, I don't even look at him, because I realize he don't really want to fight me. He was just running his mouth trying to act like a badass. And if he does pull his gun out, I hope there is some video footage, because it will show me doing exactly what I'm telling everybody I'm doing, Because, it goes back to, I don't like this man, so therefore I don't want to be looking at him. But, come to think about it, Robert Limbaugh probably will not be calling me neither, because he won't have no help, or he won't have a weapon in his hand. But you know what? Call me Money Hall, cuz, and we'll make a deal. If we can get somebody to sponsor this, maybe like SPN or something. But if I can magically come up with $10,000 and give y'all $2,500 a piece, I will go up to Tracy Sargent's and get them UFC gloves that I fought Gene with, and we'll fight all of y'all at the same time till you're bare-fisted. I will fight you, Robert, Troy, Bobby, and I'm going to give y'all Midget Man. And like I said, we'll fight y'all at the same time till you're bare-fisted. But I want 6 months to train for this. But you know what? It ain't going to be like that fight me and Gene had, because if I do kick y'all's ass, I'm going to hear the words, I'm going to be a good nigger, Mr. Josie Wales. I know a lot of folks are thinking, ain't they older than you? Shouldn't it be the other way around? No, that's a custom that we got in the heart of Dixie. That's the way a nigger addresses a white man in the state of Alabama. Oh, now Judge Larry Ward, but better known as Midget Man in this video, think about that, cuz. I just called you a nigger. Now think about what them folks are saying now. Yeah, I'm talking code in this clip, but these guys are nothing but a bunch of popsicles. Like you, Bobby. One night, there was this guy that was going to come to pick up this vehicle that somebody in the family pawned the title to and didn't make the payments. Well, he was there to get the vehicle. It was at night, and Bobby sneaks down there and puts a gun to his head and talking about, I will blow your such and such brains out. I've been in that similar situation, and I would walk down there and ask these folks politely what was going on without a weapon in my hand. If you're such a badass, why didn't you go down there without a weapon? Like you, Robert. If you such a badass, why did you hit my cousin Ricky Lynn with the baseball bat? I know why he did it, Ricky Lynn, because he couldn't whoop your ass without it. It's like this guy named Philip. Me and Philip worked together at Winn-Dixie stocking groceries. I could not stand him. He was just this little smart ass that would come in about half drunk every night and thinking he was Mr. Billy Badass. But probably about 6-7 years later, I was at the Town Tavern drinking tequila. I bumped into this guy named Philip. Remember, I ain't seen this guy in, 6-7 years. He come up to me and said, "What's up, Nick?" I said, "Dude, do I know you?" "Yeah, we work together." I said, "I don't think I know you." He said, "I'm Philip, man. We work together at Winn-Dixie." I said, "Dang," because I didn't recognize him, because, man, he done gained some weight. And I said, "Damn, dude, I didn't recognize you. You done got big." He looked at me and said, "Yeah, man, I'm a badass." Now, I looked at him. I said, "Cuz, you ain't nothing but a popsicle, and I'll lick you like one." Then I licked him in the face. And he looked at me and said, "Damn, you crazy." Then he started walking away, and as he was walking away, I barked at him. But you know what, Philip? I proved to you right off the get-go, cuz, that you are not Yeah, what was sad, about three years ago or so, man, I was like real out of shape, couldn't hardly bend over tie my shoe, and these folks threatened to jump on somebody in my condition. That's sad. And plus, trying to go around controlling me with a smart ass tone in their mouth. But I hate to admit this, little buddy, but y'all almost gave me an erection because you got my adrenaline going. That's why I went and built the first time machine. Yeah, I heard Bobby say that he would take, I think, about 40,000 for that place, and that's sort of kind of iffy. But here's a way you might can get 45 and maybe even 50,000 for it. Okay, Aunt Linda's willing to give you, say, 15,000, right? You take that property up there, you own her financing it. That way all you gotta do is wait on a check for 30,000. Add them two up, that is 45. But if you'd be willing to trade that land with my Aunt Linda and sign a consentment sheet that you will never drive down this road again, I'll go personally borrow $5,000 and give it to you, because, there's a lot more things that I care about than money, and that seems that, that's the only thing you really care about, But if you decide not to trade with my Aunt Linda, I'm not stopping here. My next step is hiring a lawyer and suing you for something like mental aggravation. Because, dude, you have driven me slap-ass crazy with that nigger quarters of a trailer park you put beside my mama. Yep, before I end this thing, I'd like to ask these guys, how's it feel to be humiliated? Because I just made an idiot out of you in front of God and everybody, and daring you to do something about it. And I hope y'all accept my invitation to Ass Whipville, Alabama, to release this frustration of hate I got inside me. But if I have everybody rapping, this YouTube video might go viral. Chillisburg, Alabama, my YouTube fans out there, deuces, I love y'all. Thank you for listening to me, people.
I'm ready for my brown fake bitches bow down. It's the remix, what you gonna do now? I know you like the way we do